Hello, everybody, everyone here on YouTube. Anyways, I have recently reached my goal on Patreon of $150 per month. I believe I am currently sitting at $173 a month, of which Patreon takes a cut of that, so I'm not actually getting $173 per month, but I'm definitely getting at least $150 per month. I have been holding off on this video because what usually happens when it comes to reaching Patreon milestones is I reach the goal and then people unpledge or change their pledges. So like I would periodically reach $150 a month and then be back to 140, and then it would keep fluctuating, and that's why I never did the videos because it's like it's not my intention to shame people who are like oh I can't afford. It's more my intention to be like, this is why the videos haven't happened. But for 2 straight months, I've been sitting at over $150 a month, which is a good thing. So I figured I might as well at least do one drawing video. Hopefully this will be able to last till next month. Hopefully. Gotta put that thing there. A lot of people ask me, why do I put a gray background? And one of the reasons why I put a gray background in my pictures is because if I don't, like it's easier on my eyes. When you're staring at a pure white background while you're drawing, then it's like, at some point this white is going to damage your eyes. I'm going to do my best also to draw without rotating the canvas. I usually draw by rotating the canvas because, got to get certain angles in there. But, I'm going to try not to do that this time. Let's do a little layout before everything else to make sure that we have everything that we want. Today I'm going to draw Nova, aka the Boob Girl from my main webcomic, Boobgirl. So anyways, let's go ahead and just start with a little egg shape for the head. Like most artists do. I've actually recently not been using the guidelines. I apologize if I'm not making very much sense. I don't do this very often. A little thing for the ear here. Here's the neck. And then, I usually just lay out the body before the arm, and you cannot forget the chest. Like, Boob Girl is kind of here. I'll move that up a little bit so you can see more of it. But Boob Girl is kind of defined by her chest. And a lot of people have actually said things like, oh, well, her chest isn't big enough. Like, you used to draw it so big. And it's like, yeah, there came a point in my life where it's like, I kept drawing her chest bigger and bigger and bigger. And the reason I did that was because so many people would come up to me and be all like, oh, well, this character's chest is bigger than Boob Girl's, so can she really be Boob Girl? Like, give Boob Girl a run for her money. It honestly bothers me whenever people do that because it's like, oh yeah, gigantic. Let's give a guideline for that. But they're always just like, hey, I really don't like your Boob Girl character, and I want to give this character bigger bigger boobs because haha, I don't know. I typically let a lot of things get to me, and I've pretty much kind of settled on one size because at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I could make him obnoxiously huge, but where's the fun in that? You know what I mean? Like, not to mention that the suit kind of compresses her chest, and so it's always like that one size. And then, of course, when it pops out, it's like, bam! Like we're talking John and Michaels here. I've always given her somewhat. I've always given her somewhat of a muscular physique, and I've also given her curves. Like she has curves for days, man. And something a lot of people have actually pointed out to me is that her suit kind of makes her look like a human version of Sonic the Hedgehog, which is hilarious to me because I'm a fan of Sonic, but I wasn't even trying to do that. But people have come up with their own theories, like, oh, it's they've come up with their own wonderful fan theories. But anyways, that's the basic layout of the whole thing. I'm gonna go ahead and lay out the hair because I lay out almost everything when I do the layouts. I don't like skipping things. I like covering all my bases, making sure everything is, hunky dory. Now, people tell me that, oh, you're always changing her hair, and it's like, yeah, I mean, why not change her hair? Her hair cannot remain the same the entire time. You know what I mean? There's just something about women who change their hair up every now and again, especially the style. Like at the end of the day, she still has like the ponytail, which at first I started her off with like long flowing hair, and a lot of people don't like the red hair or the long flowing hair, which to each their own. I'm gonna go ahead and lay out the nose and everything. I'm just gonna lay out all the big stuff, mostly because I don't know. I feel like it's better if I just lay everything out right now instead of waiting or instead of like fumbling, because at the end of the day this is a video drawing and I don't want to spend too long on a single aspect, so I might as well lay everything out and then go over it with black. The mask is honestly fun for me to do here and there, and the reason it is because I get to play around with like the mask shape depending on her expression. I've it's very heavily inspired by like the Incredibles, how their masks move according to the expressions that they're making. I've always wanted to do something like that, and I've also changed up her masks so many times because I frequently got, when I first started, I would frequently get things like, I would get comments saying, "Oh, it's just tranny Robin. It's just Robin if after he got a sex change, blah 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 blah." And I'm like, "Are you serious? Like, no, no, guy, come on, guys, come on." Anywho, this is gonna be very sketchy, so bear with me. But anyways, there you have it. Gotta get the little ear in there. I usually don't talk too much when I do this kind of stuff. Say boom, boom, boom. Let's give it a little bit of a. There we go. Boom. Now her face shape kind of varies. I messed up there. Her face shape varies, but more often than not, she's got kind of a heart-shaped face. At least I try to give her a heart-shaped face. Get that hair in there. Like one of the things that I notice is very common when I draw her is she almost always has kind of a heart shape to her face, to everything. And I apologize if you do hear pinging. That is my Discord going off. There are people trying to get a hold of me right now. To be expected. And yeah, sometimes I'll go in and actually increase the size of her chest as I'm inking it out. I'm not really an expert on drawing breasts. I try to be sometimes, but at the end of the day, you can't really. Hang on, that was bad. Let me go ahead and. There we go. Other comments that I would get frequently were, "Oh, she's a Power Girl ripoff," and I'm like, "Yeah, Power Girl, one of my least favorite heroines ever." And then of course everyone's like, "Oh my goodness, like how could you hate Power Girl? Like she's so hot, she's so this, she's so that." And I'm like, because I just was never interested in Power Girl. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, she looks good, but as far as like reading comics based off of her, I haven't. I own all but one, and one of them was made by Amanda Connor. No, I'm sorry, I own two, thanks to one of my friends. I own Power Girl, which I believe takes place, during JLA Earth 2. And then there's another one, Harley Quinn and Power Girl. So there's that thing. Anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up. We'll add some basic color afterwards. Yeah, we'll add some color. But her mask is going to be black because why not, man? I typically make it kind of like an off gray, And the reason I do that is the reason I do off gray is the reason I do off gray is so you can see like these little lines. As a matter of fact, you know what? I will do an off gray. You know, don't want to rush, don't want to do anything drastic. Anyway, come the fun part, her lips. I always give her like very plump lips. I'm kind of a fan of it. I'm not like, I'm not like Angelina Jolie lips, you know what I mean? Like just kind of, hey, she's got some extra puckers up here. Face is a little fat, so let's fix that. All right. Let's get rid of the underline here. So from there, we're going to fill in her costume. Always make sure to use a blue because I remember when I did this, what ended up happening is people thought that her suit was purple because I used a different kind of blue, a different shade of blue. It looked very off blue, and people were confused. They were like, "Oh yeah, her suit is purple." No, it's not. For the longest time, because of that, I thought that I was colorblind, which is never a good thing because at the time I did not have health. I mean, I still don't have health insurance, but I'm currently like, if anything goes wrong with my eyesight, then that's a problem. Which, thank the Lord, nothing has gone wrong yet. I eat my vegetables. I absolutely hate coloring. I hate coloring any picture. I wonder if I can just bucket fill this whole thing. No, wait, I can actually. I can bucket fill the whole thing. Just have to find the right sweet spots to fill up. I'm over here worrying. I'm over here like kind of sucking, not realizing that I can bucket fill this entire thing. There are people who tell me that I take the easy way out when I bucket fill things like this. To which my response is always, no, I'm not. Like you can say I'm bucket filling. You can say that bucket filling is cheating, but the way I see it, it's like if you're a digital artist and you have that tool available and it speeds up the process, use it. You know, don't let people tell you how you should do things. Like just because traditional artists, like I understand traditional artists say things like, "Oh, digital artists are cheating because they're using shortcuts to get things." And I'm like, we do use shortcuts, but I mean, I wouldn't call it cheating. You're just using the tools available to you. It's no different than when Bob Ross would kind of just, scribble trees out there. You know what I mean? An artist should always use their tools to the best of their advantage because the second you do that, it just shows that you're taking advantage of the tools. You know what I mean? Like, what's the use in having them if I made a mistake there? What's the use in having these tools if you can't use them? You know, like why? There's no purpose. There's no point. You might as well use them. They're not going anywhere. No, nobody should shame you for using them. I would constantly get shamed for using the bucket fill tool. But without the bucket fill tool, guess what? It would probably take me a lot longer to do this, and this video would end up being like 30 minutes long, which is never a good thing, especially a drawing video. I remember I made a drawing video years ago. Like we're talking before I even made this comic. But I did drawing videos. I used to do plenty of them. And one of the things that people got on me about was, oh my god, why does it take you so long to draw just the head? Which, it did. It took me forever to draw the head, and that's mostly, and I always use the excuse, well, I'm slowing it down so that people can see the step-by-step process. Because usually what people wanted at the time, they wanted a sort of drawing tutorial. And at the time, I was a very bad teacher. And of course, there are people currently right now who are telling me, "Oh, well, you're kind of being unfair. You're forcing us to, choose between your characters. That's not fair, Joker. You should have done like some established character like Goku or Vegeta or something." And I'm like, "Yeah, I could have done that, but here's the thing. I already did drawing videos of them." So there really is no purpose. Anywho, I've made her mask that off gray. I'm gonna go ahead and add white to those eyes. Typically, I'd add like lots of cross hatching and for shading, but because this is just kind of trying to get this out quickly, You can never forget her red hair. I remember when I first debuted her, she had black hair, and a lot of people prefer that look. But the thing is, the black hair version was not the actual version of Boobgirl. Like people, I was dating this girl, and she essentially was like, you have to make Boobgirl look like me." And I'm like, "Why?" "Because if not for me, you wouldn't have come up with her." Despite the fact that I came up with her before I ever met this girl. But anyways, she was like, "Make her like me," because I had her as a redhead. Like she was gonna have long flowing red hair. But then she's like, "Color it black. I don't like the red." And I'm like, "Okay, fine." So I did that because, I want to please whoever I was with at the time because that was just my mentality. And now I just, I want my original vision, which, is the red hair. And there are people out there who say, "Oh yeah, I don't like the red hair. I prefer the black-haired version." And that's fine. Just understand that, you're kind of wrong. The black hair version isn't, I mean, it's mine, but it's not really mine. I hate when the bucket fill doesn't work that way. I really do. That's why I use this tool, the cell pen. You can select individual pieces, fill it up, and it's still not enough. Gotta keep going. Okay, we done? No, we aren't. Why? 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 Okay, let's see if that helped. Yes, yes, it did. Okay, that helped. Let's fill that in. And now we go to the pièce de résistance. Hold up, I see a little white spot. The pièce de résistance, which is her skin. Which, if you've ever seen a freckle-faced redheaded kid, you'll know that a common trait is very pale, freckled skin, which is the type of skin that I've always wanted to give her. Like, basically, when I envisioned Boobgirl, when I first came up with her, the idea was always that she was a freckle-faced redhead, because those are the kind of girls that I like. Like, those to me are like the perfect women, you know? I mean, okay, no, not perfect, but ideal woman, you know what I mean? And so there you have the skin, and now here's a little trick that I do for the lips, and I promised I wouldn't rotate it, but I'm sorry guys, I had to. Here we go. Lips. There's some white in that hair. This frequently happens. Like when I stream every night, right? So I do commissions. And what frequently happens is I always figure that I fill something up, and that's not the case. I'm actually gonna have to fix this lip here, this black mark. Way to go, Joker. Thought you were supposed to be a professional. Yeah. I mean, if I'm being honest, if we're gonna consider Squirrel Girl a professionally published comic, guess what? So is Boob Girl. I don't care. It's self-published. Anyways, we are not done there. We are going to add our freckles. No, that doesn't look right. You gotta add dots, but if you don't add like the dots in the proper areas, it'll just look like acne. I'm even add some on her neck here. Add some on her chest. I'm gonna go in, maybe add some on her shoulder. Like if I had time, I would freckle her up all over the place, and then maybe lighten it up a little bit. And let's see, she's got that blue suit, so we're gonna give her a very complementary background. We're gonna give her sort of an orangish, maybe a light orange background, something like that. And then we're going to mix it with purple a little bit. We'll add some, actually, we'll add some shade. There we go. So blend it. Eh. And okay, hold up. What's up with this hair? What's up with this piece here? That does not. I don't like that. What is that let's merge all these layers. What is that? Okay, I guess that was just a piece of the hair. Anywho, let's get let's merge that and let's give her something. Let's give her something to look forward to. Let's give her like a little bit of blush, because just one skin tone I feel doesn't really work. Like even when it's just dark skin, like when I'm drawing Joaquin, it's typically like it's typically brown, but there's also like shades of pink, shades of light pink, because nobody's skin is just one color. It's all varies, and this is just kind of a shorthand, just kind of my shorthand way. But anyways, let me go ahead and sign this. I got to admit, this was very fun. I legitimately hope that I can keep doing this for you guys, because drawing my characters is just a delicacy for me, and the fact that you guys have decided to band together and support me at $170 per month, like, dude, let's shoot higher. Let's shoot for $300 a month, because we get to $300. Guess what that means? That means less commission streams and more request streams. Every dollar counts. I appreciate every patron that gives me money, whether it's a dollar, whether it's $5, whether it's $10, whether it's $40 per month. Every single dollar counts, and the longer you stay pledged, the more benefits and rewards you'll reap from it. I promise you that. Anyways, this is Joker216 signing off. Thank you for watching, and Godspeed. God bless. Have a good day.